Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Tester Tech. And I just want to start with showing you the end result of this video. And what I did is create a Starfield inspired dashboard. So if you don't know Starfield, it's a game of Bethesda Game Studios. And they created an RPG, a space RPG, in fact. And it's quite cool, and I really love the aesthetic of it. And it inspired me to create this kind of a dashboard. So I themed it a little bit, and it's modeled after a dashboard that someone else created. I will get to that in a minute. And this is my interpretation of that dashboard. And it's using the U bar, and I show you how to configure it on Hyperland, but it should also work on Sway or any other tiling window manager. And I guess you could even launch it on KDE if you want, but I've tested this on Hyperland on Fedora. So let's jump straight into it. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Tester Tech, where I'm gonna do something. And what I'm gonna do is configure toolbars that they are like this. So if you know Aditya Shikya, he's creator of Archcraft, Linux distribution based on Arch, and yeah, mainly aesthetic focused as well, I think. At least that's what you see. He likes to customize all these things, and he's created various other things. But for now, I just want to look at some kind of a dashboard, because I want to extend that into some kind of a Starfield inspired dashboards. That's what I try to do in this video. Let's open a terminal console and just follow the steps here. So this is the first part where you clone, and for that I always have a git directory. So git, I copied that already. So git clone, and you need to remove that $. That just indicates that is a user command. So that's the convention you have in the Unix world. And we have the hash, you of course have a root. So git clone, that is the command, and def is 1. But let's just clone it. So create the EU config directory. I already have that on my system. Config, grab EU. Yeah, I already have that. And after U bar, if you see my previous video, that is already been configured on this system. So that is the polybar replacement, and I'll start it up in a minute. So install the required fonts from the fonts directory to the fonts directory. Let's see. What are these fonts? Do I already have them? JetBrains Mono, Feather, and Iosefka. So for the most part, I already have these fonts. So if you want to know what fonts are loaded, you can do the FC list, and that's the font cache list. And then you can, for example, grab in case sensitive on Jet. Then you have all the JetBrains. So this is the font name JetBrains Mono. You can see, and it's a variant extra light, etc. And the other one, Iosefka, I already have that as well. So only the Feather I don't have, at least. But that is basically, I guess, for the glyphs. So let me grab that real quick and download it. And then I can also show you how to install fonts. So you could, if you have KDE, you can right click and select install. That could be. If you don't have KDE, let me show you the other way. So here I copied it, and then local share fonts, and the dot is of course the hidden directory, and I can paste it in here. So if you don't have this directory, create it. And what also works is the dot fonts directory. That is also, but the convention is .local share fonts for your local installed fonts. That will install it for this user. And if you have that, then you can reload the font cache. And for that, sudo fc cache reload force and verbose. That's what I always do. And then you need to type the sudo password. And then you have it. And then I can check, and feather is indeed in there. So now I have all the required fonts already set up, and I've showed you 2 ways to grab fonts and install them. All right, let's go back to this one because I did this step, and then the U directory is here, but this is just a widget. So put the U executable on your path. So which U? So I already have it, .local bin U. So I already have the U executable on my path. If you're curious how to do that, check my previous video. And I have the explanation there. I'll have the link popping up. All right, let's go to the next step. And the launch dashboard scripts works like a toggle. Perfect for key bindings, indeed. You can use cron jobs to update weather, etc. Get your weather key from open weather. It's free. Mail script. Okay. Don't use my profile picture, indeed. Music widgets, I don't use that. And yeah, I do use Spotify, but to each his own. And 1920 by so full HD displays only. And what you're seeing now is also a full HD display, so that should work okay. Let's check the files. So I've copied this and then U dashboard. And of course this is a script, launch dashboard. The file is home cache. Config, indeed, dashboard. Okay. .dashboard. Ah, okay. This is a temporary file. And I already have the cache directory. Yeah, it's there. Okay, run U, this whole thing. And this is the module, so you can customize what you want to launch. That's cool. All right. Looks okay. So that's one. And so this should be okay. So if I just copy the dashboard to .config/u, then it should be okay. Let's do that now. So I have the widgets in here. So cd into there, widgets. And this is the same directory. U. So cd into there because I already have the U directory. Oh, I haven't checked Arin yet. Do that, Arin. Ah, of course, yeah, he had 2. Yet this one is the Arin, that's this one, and the other one is the widgets. Okay, fine. So now I know that. So I just copy recursively the dashboard to config U. Okay, and let's go into there. So cd dashboard. Launch dashboard. So I guess I can just do launch dashboard. Let's see what happens. Yep. Okay. So that's pretty cool. But it's what's happening. That's black. I didn't expect that, to be honest. All right, I'm back. So it rebooted my whole system. I don't know exactly what happened. Let's give it another try. So I'll play around with it a little bit more and I'll resume the video then. All right, so this is open box, and yeah, it seems to work here. At least I removed all the other things and just have the background and profile here. Let's just launch it and you'll see what happens. So I'm in the directory launch, and this works indeed. So the background, it's slightly transparent, and it's toggling the thing. So in principle, this seems to work. Let's try other window managers now, because I'm not familiar with OpenBox. Let's try, for example, Hyperland. So I'm back, and after some tinkering, I finally got it to work for some widgets. Now, if I press the shortcut key, then it's Windows F for me. Then it goes into this, and you can toggle it easily. So that is the first step taken, and I had some issues with it, and mainly it was because of Hyperland and displays. I already addressed it in my own script, but for some reason it didn't work yet, and I fixed it. So let's quickly, I'll show you the code quickly. And mainly it was a monitor and screen as well, I think. Unfortunately, you cannot parameterize these. So on the other window manager, what's it called again? OpenBox. On OpenBox, it was screen 1. And unfortunately, like I said, you cannot use parameters because it then also fails. So, but this annoys me a little bit, to be honest. It's quite redundant. Of course, every line is like the same. But anyway, maybe that's for later. And I managed to get it to work, and I put in the shortcut to toggle it, as you can see here. And that's it. So the launch, now it's still the profile, and system is also in there. And I'm basically doing, one by one. I see it's a quick oversight where we need to do the backslash for this. Probably now, let me open a, So, step by step I can tune it. And this is the basis. And then I want to make a Starfield like theme. And that's the goal that I have in my head. And let's see how far I come, and I will show you the final result. Alright, so after some tinkering, I want to show you the finished product. Let me set the wallpaper. And I will supply these wallpapers in the repository. So this is the Starfield wallpaper. And if I hit Mod F, then I will launch the dashboard. So this is the finished product. And you can toggle the dashboard by hitting Mod F in my case, and that's just a standard key binding. And it's inspired on this. I said before. So Adi, there was the benchmark, and I made it my own by taking it aboard and styling it after Starfield. So let's go over it. What you see the picture here. You can change the username, of course. Put tester tag there, and this is my username of my logged in user. And this is a profile picture. Feel free to change that. And it's in the, so if you go, I put it in config, EU, and then dashboard. So this is the directory, this is the launch script, and in the images, there's a couple of images. Maybe there will be less when I publish this video. Profile.jpg, that is the image here, as you can see. And the background is also there, and I will show you how to configure it in a minute. But let's first go back here. So you see some stats here, RAM, disk space, brightness. This is actually not showing. That is configuration option. The battery, and these are the quick launch. So for example, if you click on this, it will launch a browser. So it will hide the dashboard and then go to GitHub in this example. All right, so some other links there. The clock, I changed it a little bit. This is my personal preference. Some application launchers, a terminal, for example, etc. All the launchers, you can click on it. It will launch the program. So I gave it more space because I think this is a main feature. It's not scrollable or something, but still it's there. You can just make it bigger, and I'll show you that in a minute how to configure it. Here you have the disk space, and yeah, shortcuts to folders. I left it like that. All right. Here's the uptime. Not that important, but yeah. Yeah, this one. Okay. This is nice. The weather, and then the logout, etc. All the buttons here. So logout and reboot, shutdown, and sleep. Click on it, it will go to that mode. Now my laptop is sleeping. Now it's back again. All right, and some space here so you can yeah, do which you want. And now let's go into how to customize it. I have my Kate session here. And like I said, it's in .config uw dashboard. You have the YAC file, you have the SCSS. Let's first check the YAC file. So this actually doesn't work, unfortunately. I had some issues with that. At least I wanted to parameterize these two, but that didn't work, unfortunately. So I had to leave them hard-coded. There was an error that I couldn't use variables there for these two. So that's unfortunate. Anyway, so the image, the profile, I showed you that. And if you're wondering about the background, that is the CSS file. That's this one. So it's a different file. Just know that. All right. The name, you can supply any name you want there. And the username also. So host name. And if you're wondering, this is like a script. So you poll 5 seconds, and this is the command you poll. So let's say you have a terminal. It will pull host name. So it will just pull in this information. But I don't know why you want it for 5 seconds. So why do you want to pull that for 5 seconds? Let's make it bigger. So it doesn't really matter. Your host name doesn't change every 5 seconds or something, right? But anyways. So CPU, memory, background lighting. So this is your scripts, and let's also show that. Here, there's a subdirectory, scripts, and then it's sysinfo, and these are shell scripts, and you can adjust all the values what you want. So this will call a function, for example. Let me just, for fun, I already showed you that it doesn't represent my. So what happens? So the command is not found. All right, so I can do X backlight. Let's do no for now, but it gives you an idea that you can interact with these scripts and get the right commands. Let's first, so let's say you want to debug this, right? Let's do that now on the spot together. Okay, I will here, this does indeed work, gives back the card name. So that's already checking the box in that regard. All right. Let's say the card is Intel. It's indeed Intel. Then X backlight get. So this script will say if you have an Intel card, which I do, you need to use X backlight get. But that's actually different than I use. So let's open file, open config, and that is Hyperland, hyper.conf. It's mesh. All right. So the brightness. Here, the brightness CTL. I use that. Okay, so brightness CTL. That does indeed work. So if you set 10% plus, for example, plus. So that you didn't see it, but it's also changed it, right? So you see it. It did indeed change. So this is my command. So I would say this is just getting, right? So light, okay. So brightness CTL, up. Brightness CTL, G for get, G. Oh, typo, CTL. That's why you always test your scripts. Yeah. So it will echo this number, right? Current brightness is this. But that basically makes 55%. And this is the max brightness. So in the previous video, I also talked a little bit about converting that number. So this indeed is the right number, 55%. But let's say you can make it your own, right? But yeah, this is just showing you that you can change these numbers and tweak it to whatever you want. So now here as well, you see the full brightness. That doesn't make sense because it actually is 55. So you need to add some code to make that change, if that makes any sense. Anyway, it's a small sidetrack, and let's go back to where I was. So battery also there. There's also sysinfo as a script. The time and date, I changed this to this format. Let's remove all the from there, and date, yeah, makes sense. That is actually this one, September 24. All right, uptime, music, I don't use that, but maybe I will remove it, I'm not sure. The weather is also in here. Mails, I don't use that, and I think I will not use that ever, so I'll remove it straight away. All right, free, I think that's the amount of space stuff. So that will be the free command. So this is this. Yeah, it's the amount of free space I have on df. Tag h. Here you see. So it's the fourth column. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. Sorry, this is this one. So it's a root. So maybe it makes more sense if you do /home. In my case, it's the same figure because of the Fedora's ButterFS. I think that's the reason. Yeah, so let's save it. It will not change it, right? So it will be the same. Let's test it. There you go, same. All right. an background. So that is the whole picture here. And that is the CSS one, so the BG. So this is one I downloaded from some wallpaper site, and I made it full HD and I blurred it so that it matched the aesthetic, basically. All right, profile, that is the picture. System is the stats, the clock, uptime, I talked about this. So the difference between what you saw before and this one is that is a widget, basically doing with styling, so detailed styling, so where you position certain elements. And then also the CSS takes care of that styling as well. So for example, the generic windows and username, colors, and all the stuff is in there. But the positioning is here, and also the indication of which kind of CSS class it has. So for example, class GenWin. That is what I just showed you here, GenWin, right? With a dot in front of it, meaning it's a class. All right, so almost everything is a GenWin. And I was just thinking just a moment ago when I discussed it, I showed to my wife, okay, what do you think? I was just discussing that maybe this one must be bigger and positioned here. Like, because does it make sense that it's a gray block? I'm not sure, to be honest. And you have lots of space here, so why not then change it? And then it will not be a GenWin. It will be something different. Maybe we can do that, but first let's go through the file, because also the actions are here. For example, if you click on it, so you see that the script is triggered, open links, and then --gh, and then the icon. Let's go to the scripts, and then open app, open links. It is this. Just a simple script where we have Firefox, new tab, and as an argument we have a URL. And for example, the GH was GitHub. So close dash is closing this. So if you click on it, it closes it. And after that, it do the command. So you can change, if you don't want Firefox, then by all means change the browser. And as an argument, you supply the URL. So then it will trigger the website, trigger the URL. All right, so let's go back. And all these buttons are styled, of course, and they have their own class in the CSS, as you can see. All right, mail, weather, etc. So as said, I don't want mail anyway, so let's remove it. Folders, also a nice touch. So the colors, I like that. Yeah, this level of detail here. They have their own CSS, of course, when you go here. And then the folders and the icon folders. So here the colors. So if you want an extra, just add it to this and you can tweak it. So one fun thing. So let's say you have it open here and you have a different screen, and for example, you want to change something. So it's immediately done. So this is one screen. I cannot show that. But let's say you make it a little bit bigger, 100, exaggeration, you save it, and immediately it's done. So if you have this editor on another screen, then you see the changes effectuated directly. So it's pretty cool. So you can really, tweak it, live, I would say. So that makes it a lot easier to change all these parameters. So that's basically it, I think, for all the options. Yeah. So this is the windows. This is where you put the widgets. So here we have the geometry. So X is, I put a remark here, X is horizontal position, Y is the vertical position. So yeah, the background, that is the thing that's covering the whole image. I put a Y of -30 there. That's specifically for me. Let's see, if you don't do it, you will have a border here, as you can see here. And I thought that was ugly, but now that I look at it, it's not that bad. And that's because I have the top margin, I have the bar. So as you can see, it's immediately overlapping. And if you don't want, for example, the transparency, you can of course change it. Let's say go here, and the background, let's say you have 1, and then it covers it entirely. Yeah, but I like the transparency 0.8. You can see a little bit the windows behind it, right? All right, so in your here, so you can position them using these values here. All right, and then you have the launch dashboard that is in the same directory. This is a script. And just make sure, if it doesn't do anything, make sure you have it at the right location. This is a cache. You can disregard that. Here's the config. So home config U dashboard. That's the CFG. U is which U. So basically this. So which U. And if it doesn't give back a value, then you need to make sure U is on local bin U, or wherever you want to install it. Can be different location. Doesn't really matter where it is, at least if it's just giving back the binary. That's important. All right, and then running, if it's not running already. All right, and then open widgets with the commands u config, and it just shows you open many and all these things. So all right, so you decide for yourself, and if you do it again, then it will close the whole thing with all the widgets. So yep. So one thing about the weather script, and this is now updating, so I pushed the change through and I'm happy with it, but that's not what I wanted to say. So there's a cron tab, and if you're not familiar, cron is something that you run from time to time, and this is under the user, my own user. So here every 5 minutes I call the scripts weather info, and that does the get data. So let's say you run it like this. I'll show you the output. So this is using the weather API, the Open Weather API, and this just gives the JSON. It's then parsed to something that looks like this. So yeah, check out the script. I would say in the scripts folder, add your API key to there, and add your city, and it should work for the rest. So cron tab, I will have, so this is basically it. So we show it again. Cron tab list. If you add this line here, of course you need to change to your own user. Have the complete path in here. And then get data is also important, and then it should work. So if you want to add that, cron tab E, then you can edit it here. Just put it in here and then exit, and then it should update the weather automatically. If you want to make use of it, link to the repository in the description down below. And have fun playing around with it, and that's just about it. See ya.